Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Vadarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Puna Puna Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Verse number 238. Nirasta Maya Krita Sarva Bhedam Nityam Sukham Niskalam Aprameyam Arupam Avyaktamanakyam Avyayam Jyotishayam Kinchit Idam Chakasti. I repeat one more time. Nirasta Maya Krita Sarva Bhedam Nityam Sukham Niskalam Aprameyam Arupam Avyaktamanakyam Avyayam Jyoti Shuyam Kinchit Idam Chakasti. The meaning is, which is transcending all diversities created by Maya, eternal, the essence of joy, indivisible, immeasurable, formless, unmanifest, nameless, immutable, and self-effulgent. See one more time the meaning. Transcending all the diversities created by Maya, eternal, beyond of which the pain, invisible, unconditioned, formless, undifferentiated, nameless, immutable, self-illness. The supreme reality is being described in this verse and previous verse also. Here in two verses, Shankaracharya gave 20 adjectival phrases. I think in last talk we did 10. So now, Nirastamaya Kirta Sarva Edam. Nirastamaya Kirta Sarva Edam means what? Maya is creating all diversities, all varieties. So all divisions has been created by Maya. $500 before, the humanity did not have any idea of mobile phone, which we are using right now. So even our mind could not have thought about mobile. There must be some base for imagination. Without base, our mind cannot imagine anything. So about this reality, mind does not have any idea. Nirasta Maya, Shankaracharya is giving just some sutras for your practice. You practice it and you think whatever division is, duality is, wherever duality is, you can negate it. This is not Brahman. This is the creation of the Maya. And Brahman is not the creation of the Maya. Another word is eternal, means always. Beyond time, three periods of time and space, it was, it is, it will be. This is not imagination in the time. Vice versa, time is imagined in it. Everything is imagined in time. But it is not imagination of the mind. So it is eternal, always. Then comes Shukham. Shukham. Shukham means happiness, the sense of pleasure. We have idea of happiness, but our happiness comes through objective way. Our happiness comes and immediately goes. So we have an idea about happiness. Here Shankaracharya, when says Sukham, it does not mean objective Sukham. It does not mean relative happiness. It does not mean outside happiness. It comes and goes. It means the sense of pleasure. When a realized person tastes this first time, then becomes so blissful. He never thought such bliss will happen. Sometimes he becomes speechless. He does not want to talk to anybody. He becomes quiet. I remember somewhere Kabir has said in their poems, Man magan bhaya to ko bole. It means if someone has got the great treasure, he will not show everyone all time. He hides it always. He wants to hide it very safe place. Like if someone has diamond, very valuable diamond, you will not carry any time. You will not show everyone, see, this is my diamond. Its value in millions and millions. You will hide it. So Kabir says, if someone realized the supreme truth, the mind becomes quiet. Mind lost in happiness. So here Sukham means the happiness which has never happened yet. We experienced happiness every day, every moment. But such type happiness never has happened. Next one is Nishkalam. Nishkalam is without parts. There is no partition, no limbs. It is one. It is one. So God is the supreme reality is one without parts. Another one is aprameyam. Aprameyam. So we have to think in this word, very new word. Aprameyam means in Sanskrit there is a word pramata, prameya, and prama. These words may be new for you, but you are very familiar, known, knower, and knowledge. This triputi. We are very familiar with three words, knower, known, and knowledge. These three words, in another way, you can say pramata. Pramata means knower. Prama means knowledge. Prameya means object. So all is objects. The all universe is object. You see, other person can see. They may be seen in future. They may have been seen in past, but their nature is seen. So all objects are seen. You can say they are prameya. They are prameya. So all objects are prameya. You can see, you can experience them. But this reality is very opposite. This is aprameya. This is not object. This is beyond objects. Objects may very subtle or very big, but this is not object. So aprameyam. Then arupam. Arupam means formless. So see the method to explain reality without any prejudice. No name, no fame, no form. As it is, the scriptures, the great masters are trying to explain. So arupam, there is no form. And when we see the form of the God in our meditation, sometimes you have thought you are devotee of the Lord and you meditate. And in your meditation, God appears. It is not false. It is true. God appears. So, but this form of God is not permanent. Your experience was true. You saw God. You saw divine, no doubt. But this form is not permanent. God took this form because of your emotion, your devotion, your faith. And when he did his work, immediate this form will disappear. God becomes in your real nature. So arupam, so God takes particular form for a purpose. That is why we call it reincarnation, avatara. So avatara is not permanent. Avatara is for a purpose. And purpose finished, the form disappear. So form is not God's nature. Whatever you whatever you want to see, form of the God, God can see. God can show you. Then another is avyaktam. Avyaktam. Avyaktam is unmanifest. Unmanifest. It is everywhere, but not visible. Very, very paradoxical. Very paradoxical. It is everywhere, but not visible. Because it is not gross, it is not subtle. That is why Vedas says, Neti, Neti. This is not. This is not. Vedas says, when you put some gross words, ask to scripture, is Brahman? Veda will say, no, Neti. This is not ultimate reality. If you put imagination, subtle words, and you will ask for Veda, is it Brahman? The Veda will say, no, it is not. Neti, Neti, Nedam, Nedam. So subtle objects and gross objects, these are not the supreme reality. They are visible. Vyakta means visible, experienceable. You can experience. Avyakta means you cannot experience. Very paradoxical. Then Anakhyam. Another word is Anakhyam. Anakhyam means nameless. Akhya means in Sanskrit name. We give a name to anything, any person. For what? We give the name any person, any object only for dealing. We can deal. We can communicate. Without name is not possible. We have whatever new invention may be developed by scientists, you must give the name. Then you can deal. You can talk. You can take and give. So name is very important. But this Brahman, the poor Brahman, I would say poor Brahman has no a single name. No name. Because it is not perceivable. It is beyond the speech. We cannot deal with it. So there is no name. And avyayam. Avyayam. These are very classical words. Avyayam means, Vyaya means decaying. Decaying. Anything slowly becomes weaker, and die. Like our body, every moment it is going to decay. Every moment, every second, it is going to die. And one day, the process is finished. All universe, a single unit or a whole universe, even solar system, galaxies, slowly, the process is going on. They will finish. Nothing will remain. Process is very slow. It is not visible, but it is going on. Process is going on. A single particle of the dust and galaxies. Everything is slowly going to finish, decaying. This Brahman is not going to die. This is Avyayam, because there is no limbs, no particles. It is eternal and beyond of mortal. Then, and Swayam Jyoti. Swayam Jyoti, it does not need any support to experience itself. Jyoti does not mean light. We have an idea when we sit on meditation, and our heart, there will light will appear. Maybe. But here, Shankaracharya says, Swayam Jyoti, it is a very different way. So Jyoti does not mean light. Yes, here Jyoti means knowledge, self-knowledge. Self-effort. It does not need any support. It does not need any medium to know itself. So this way, to say something for which is not sayable, it is a very contradictory. Here, two verses we have read. Shankaracharya has given some very good phrases in description of the supreme reality. It is a very big problem for scriptures and great masters too. Why? How to describe? Because it is a whole. And we don't have any idea for whole. We know things in partial. So that is why sometimes he explained in positive way, sometimes a negative way. Because it has, this reality does not have any quality, any adjective, but because of compassion, the scriptures, the master always try to describe it. So in two verses, Shankaracharya has given as possible as definitions he gave us. Now next one. ज्ञात्री गेय ज्ञान शून्यम अनंतम निर्विकल्प केवलाखंड चिन्ह मात्रम परम तत्वम विदुर बुधा. I repeat. ज्ञात्री गेय ज्ञान शून्यम अनंतम निर्विकल्पकम केवलाखंड चिन्ह मात्रम परम तत्वम विदुर बुधा. The meaning is, sages realize the supreme truth in which there are no distinctions, such as the knower and knowledge and the known, which is infinite, transcendental, and which is the essence of knowledge, absolute. See the translation one more time. Sages realize the supreme principle Brahman, in which there is no differentiation of knower, knowledge, and known. Infinite, transcendent, and the essence of knowledge, absolute. This verse is very, very different because now Shankaracharya is sharing some experiences of realized person, enlightened persons. What does he feel? What does he get? When a person realized, when a person enters from ignorance to knowledge, from this bondage to freedom, Jeevhood to Ishwarhood, then what happens? Previous two verses was according to scriptures. These two verses are here Shankaracharya is sharing the experience of the enlightened persons when they realize it first time. What is their response? He says, when a person enters in this realm of the divinity, just feel, oh, wow, oh my God. This word is now meaningful, oh my God. Now he's watching God. Really meaningful, oh my God. This beauty, this treasure, actually, the fact is the self can be experienced, not explained. It's like that you are making understand someone who do not have vision about color, who does not have eyes, but you are making understand about color. He may pretend that he understood, but he has no experience, not understand it. But due to compassion, great masters, scriptures, always trying to make, to give something, to pass on something, what they have realized, what treasure they want to give. That is why Shankaracharya could not stop themselves. And like Shankaracharya, there are so many masters, they are always trying to give such treasure. Here, he's giving some experiences, what they say, the realized person when he experience. Gyatri, Geya, Jnana, Shunya. It's experience very opposite of worldly experience. Actually, we have tried for an objective knowledge, knower, and known. These three things, any objective knowledge, any knowledge, these three are important. If one is disappear, other two will disappear. And knowledge will not take place. So these three are necessary when a realized person, a seeker, enters in this realm, the realm of the self-knowledge, these three will disappear immediately. In this realization, there is no one, no knower, no knowledge. Gyatri, Geya, Jnana, Shunya. So this knowledge, the distinction will finish. Like when you say, I am. In this knowledge, I am. Who is the knower and who is known? You know chair. Chair is the object. You are the knower. Chair is known and you get knowledge. But I am, in this knowledge, you don't have any knowledge. And I am, there is no knower, no known. Once it happened with Shankaracharya, he was wandering monk with few disciples. Continuously, he was wandering all over the India, south to north, north to south, east to west, everywhere, continuously. And he was writing some books, some commentaries, and debating with other scholars. He was so busy, and even he did not have any food security, any house security. He would not have, he would have or not today lunch. He was not sure. Lunch is not sure. Dinner is not sure. Nothing was sure. But he was continuously walking. Once a very learned person, scholar, came to him. That time there was no communication medium so strong, no transport system was so good. So once a scholar came to him and said, he said, I have some questions. Shankaracharya says, yes, you can ask. He said, my question is not about scriptures, not about the God. My question is about you. And you give me reply, direct. He said, yes, you can ask. He said, you are looking like a king. You are like a god. It looks like you have everything and you are living like a beggar. Your face says your presence is like a king. Your personality like a king, a chakravarti, a great samrat who is ruling all over the world. Your presence, your personality like this. And you are living like a beggar. So who are you? You have come from the heaven. You are God. He simply replied, no, I'm not God. Then he said, are you incarnation of the God? He said, no, I'm not an incarnation of the God. And there are so many categories in our Puranas. You are Gandharva, you are Kinnar, you are Yaksh. He says simply, no, I am not, no, no, no. The learned person became so annoyed. He said, at least you are human being. Are you human being? He said, no. He becomes so irritated. Are you animals? He said, no. Are you donkey, monkey, dog? He said, no. So the learned person becomes so annoyed, so irritated. Finally he said, then tell me, who are you? Now you tell. I am going to stop my question. Shankaracharya says, Anantam. Gyatri Jnana Shunyam Anantam. I am beyond of all boundaries. Human being a boundary. Animals, even gods, also a boundary, limitations. I am not boundaries. I am unlimited. I am beyond of them. Anantam. There is no any bound. When I realized myself, immediately all boundaries, the boundary of the knowledge, the boundary of the religion, the boundary of the God, the boundary of the body, all boundaries, all limited, immediately disappear. Now I am Anantam. All divisions of knowledge disappears. Shankaracharya giving experience of the realized person. Nirvikalpa. Nirvikalpa. So you can practice it. You can practice whatever comes through these three. This knowledge is only objective. And another experience is nirvikalpam. Nirvikalpam in Sanskrit, vikalpa means option. We have so many options, but the reality is without option. We may have options for everything, but we don't have any option for ourselves. We have substitute for everything, but we do not have any substitute for ourselves. We want diversities for option, more varieties, more options. Every level, God has given us so many freedom, so many options. If you don't like this food, you can take another. If you cannot want to stay here, you can live another place. And if you don't want this body, you can take another. If you don't want this condition, you can go another condition. We have so many options. If you don't want this body, you can take another. You will get. And in this body also, sometimes we do organ transplants. Organ transplants, and sometimes we transplant our kidney, heart, eye, skin. You can change it. You can change. We have choice because we have options. You can change religion. You can take optional scripture, a master, a place. Everything is available for option. Not only things, even we have option for God. What? God is also optional. If you have faith in God, Lord Sri Krishna, you worship. If you don't have faith, You have faith another God? Yes, available. There are optional. God is option. So many varieties in form of the God. You can worship Krishna, Rama, Hanuman, Durga, Ganesha, Christ, whatever you want. Another any form. And because there are options, so every level you can choose your form of the God according to your mental level. So everywhere we have options. Everywhere we have options, but we do not have any option for yourself. You can change your body. I don't like this body, so I want another body. I will die. And some person commits suicide. I will take another body. They may be wrong or right. This is another matter. But you don't have any idea, even idea, I don't like myself. You don't like, it may be possible you don't like your body, your mind. But we don't have any idea, I don't like myself. If you want, I don't want this self, I want another, you don't have option. Nirvikalpa. Nirvikalpa, there is no option for, I don't want this soul, I want another soul. If this idea will come in your mind, I don't want this soul which is living inside me, I don't want this soul, I want to replace this soul. So another soul is not available for you. Sorry, you don't have any option for another soul. That is why nirvikalpa. And but don't worry. The soul, whatever you have, kevala khand chinamatram param tattvam vidur buddha. Shankaracharya says, the enlightened person say, your soul is just flow of the happiness, continuously happiness, consciousness. This is a supreme reality, absolute reality. Keval akhand chinamatram. So it is essence of the knowledge. Then, now take another one. Aheyam anupadeyam manovacha magocharam aprameya anadyantam brahma purnam aham maha. I repeat one more time. Aheyam anupadeyam manovacham agocharam aprameyam anadyantam brahma purna maham maha. Translation is that which can neither be thrown away nor taken up, that which lies beyond the limits of the mind and speech, which is immeasurable, which is without beginning and end, which is whole and oneself, which is of outshining glory, that is the self. See the translation one more time. Which can be neither thrown away nor taken up, which is beyond the reach of mind and speech, immeasurable, without beginning and end, the whole one's very self, and the surpassing glory. Shankaracharya now is continuing the same topic, the experience of the learned person, the realized person. The realized person says, experiences, I am. aheyam. So this previous thought is continued. There is no variety in yourself. No variety. We can renunciate everything. We can get rid of whatever you want. Any person, place, objects, relation, possession, body, religion, faith, everything you can renunciate. But what about yourself? We have no choice. Its verse is connected to previous verse. This is your nature. Eyes cannot renunciate the coldness. The fire is not able to renunciate to heat. Heat is nature of the fire. So we can renunciate anything. Anything. Nothing is always with you. But yourself, your being, you cannot reject it. There is no way. We cannot. Because this is not thing. You can reject a thing, an object, because you are separate and things are separate. So you can reject, you can negate, you can get off. But how? You can get off yourself, from yourself. Shankaracharya says, aheyam. Real company is, your real company is you. Your real company is you. Other things comes and goes. Nothing's permanent. Anything, any object, not always with you, but you are always with you. Aheyam. And another, he's giving anupadeyam. Very interesting topic. Actually, I enjoy it very much. Anupadeyam. It cannot be taken up. This reality is always with you. Anupadeyam means what? Did you think what the purpose of your soul? Everything is meaningful. The all creation has purpose. Earth is here because earth has some purpose. Water is here because water has some purpose. Air has some purpose. The tree has some purpose. Your body also has some purpose. Your mind has some purpose. Everything, all over the universe, the sun, the galaxies, the solar mandal, everything has its own purpose. They have created by God with purposely. They have been created because they have their own purpose. Without purpose, suppose if you want to build a building, first you think, what the purpose? If you take something from the market, first you think, what the purpose? Purpose is the must. So all over the universe, everything has its own purpose. Five great elements have their own purpose. A very small thing also has its own very purpose. But yourself has no purpose. Yourself has no purpose. Without purpose, no use. Anupadeyam. There is no utility of yourself. because is the subject. Now, mano vacham agocharam, the realized person experiences, it is beyond sense organs and mind. This is the experience of the realized persons, which is matched with scriptures. It is beyond. So our sense organs, our mind cannot reach. In Upanishads also same way said, yato vacho nivartante aprapya manashasaha. And another is aprameyam. The realized person's experiences, this reality is aprameyam. Aprameyam, prameyam is object. Prameyam is what? Whichever you can experience. So this is the prameyam. Objects can be done between. So objects you can understand because two objects have space between them. Then you can figure it out. This is TV, this is the chair, because between two objects there is space and you know the limitations. But this reality is beyond aprameyam, anadyantam, and this is the beginningless and endless. Anadyantam. Purnam aham. So this is the Brahma. This is the Brahma. I am the Brahman. I am the whole. Purnam, perfect. Nothing lacking. I am absolute. I am the absolute. So these are the experiences of realized person. In two verses, Shankaracharya has given the experiences of realized persons. Till we have studied, now this topic is over. Now we are entering a very interesting topic. First, I chant the verse. Tattvam padabhyam avidhiyamanayo brahmatmanoshodhitayormaditham srutya tayostattvamasiti samyak ekatvameva pratipadyate muhu. I repeat. Tattvam padabhyam avidhiyamanayo brahmatmanoshodhitayormaditham srutya tayostattvamasiti samyak ekatvameva pratipadyate muhu. The meaning is, if Shruti is its maxim that thou art, repeatedly establishes the absolute oneness of Brahman and the self, indicated by the term that, tat, thou, tvam, respectively, then divesting these terms of their relative associations, their implied but not literal meaning are to be understood. Now, I would say the real work of the Vedanta begins now. The real work of the Vedanta begins from here. This is the point. Then you will think, you can think, 1 year has passed, we are studying Tattva-bodha, Vivekchudamani. So what is this? Yes, we are doing good. We have been studying very fundamental things. But from here, the real work of the Vedanta starts. More or less, so many philosophies or religions accept the theory of the world, individual soul, and supreme reality. This point is ultimate goal for them. Vedanta does not have interest in these topics. Vedanta, these topics had been done just for preparation, nothing else. All knowledge, it is through science. Whatever knowledge we gain through knowledge, science, it is a material knowledge. In our scriptures, philosophies, there is a Charvak philosophy, Charvak, who admits that there is only material worlds, earth, water, fire, and air, even not space. They don't accept. They don't accept there is a space. They say only there are 4 elements, not 5. And scientists are trying, they have been doing their best for knowledge of the object. They are going deeper, 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 and layer by layer, they find something else is happening. In philosophy or religion, they think their object is not enough. Object is not limit of the knowledge. There is something much more. There is something beyond of the knowledge. There is something beyond of the sub-object. It is subject. Then religion starts. Philosophy starts. And then some philosophy think thus reality which is beyond the object, it is in our sight, inside our body, individual soul. Some think this objective knowledge is all over the world, but subjective is beyond the world, and it is a God. Some says the reality beyond the object is individual soul and God. Some say there is only individual soul, not God. So Vedanta is doing exercise. Now, the real work will start. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Vadarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.